Hi, good morning, good afternoon. It's me, Jennifer Montgomery, talking about Empath Lightworker inspired soul sessions. Um, so I've been thinking about following intuition. When I first was getting messages to follow my intuition, I wasn't really sure, like, what does that mean? In modern society, I don't think we're really taught to follow our intuition. We're more or less programmed to do things based on things that don't necessarily serve our soul. So following your intuition when you realize that you can, that it's even an option, can be a little tricky at first. It can be like learning how to ride a bike without training wheels. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that because I remember the first time I was told or suggested to follow my intuition. It was in a card reading because I'm really into tarot, and I trust in that stuff because I think everything's for a reason, and there are no accidents. So I remember this was in like maybe 2012 or so. One of the cards that came out was follow your intuition. And I was kind of like, I didn't say anything, but I was processing like, how do I do that? So the way I do that is now is by following how I feel. So in order to do that, you really have to be in touch or attuned and aware of and conscious of your emotions. And in the modern 3D world, it's definitely encouraged to suppress emotions, which is why people are walking around with so many medical issues, disease, cancer, and all these things. It's a result of being detached from your inner compass and your guidance system, because we have that for a reason. So the people that are labeled weird or like, hippy dippy, like bohemian, gypsy type people, we're not weird. We're actually smarter than the masses, which is interesting because when I was like 20 or something, we're going back 20 years, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain condition. It's an autoimmune disorder. And this was after a car accident. And for a couple of years, I was being treated with medication. Chemicals in my body. No bueno for me. So eventually I was like 21 and I'm like, yeah, this is bullshit. I felt awful. I was depressed. I didn't feel like doing anything. I was lacking motivation. I felt like I was wasting away. I was 21, and at one point I remember counting, there was 11 medications in my medicine cabinet at that time. I wasn't taking all of them, but they were prescribed to me, and I felt like crap. I felt terrible. So something wasn't working. So my intuition then kind of nudged me and was like, what if you just stop taking them? What's the worst that can happen? Okay, the worst that can happen is I'll feel worse, and then, okay, I have them, I can take them again. Well, guess what? I started to feel better. So that's a way of following your intuition. It's like a little nudge. It's like a little, for me, it's like, it's an idea. It's a voice, a guide saying, oh, well, what about this? It's soft. It's not overwhelming. It's just like, it feels like an aha, like oh, yeah, like, oh, what about that? It's almost like this refreshing idea that you hadn't really ever considered before. So this happens to me all the time. So this is how, like I've mentioned before, I live like this, and how I feel. So like if I'm not feeling something, I'm like, someone says, oh, I'm not feeling it. Like if I'm not feeling it, I'm not doing it. So like if I feel very uncomfortable with something, that's my intuition saying to me, no, do not proceed. Don't do that. And there's a difference between ego and intuition, but I don't really want to talk about that right now. I'll talk about this. But you know, a recent, and I give examples because I think it's I find it easier to understand with examples. So maybe you can kind of empathize and put yourself in a position, or find something relatable. But recently, like my sister and I, we were traveling together in the Chattahoochee National Forest. Oh my God, what an experience. But anyway, so we're trekking along in her little Honda. It's not an off-road vehicle. That should have been reconsidered. But anyway, so we're like going to go to like this waterfall, and my phone lost service. I don't know where I am. I'm not a pioneer girl by any means. Oh, I tried, but no, I'm not. And then I was just getting these, like, I was getting anxious. I was like, all these bells and whistles were going off in my mind, like, no, 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 as we're like trekking up a mountain, and it's like all you hear is like the gravel kicking up under the car. The poor dog is like, you know, having a canary in the back seat, and my sister's like driving, and I'm like, no, when she's like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, my intuition is saying turn around. I just wasn't feeling it. It was just, even if it was safe, even if it was okay, I would not have enjoyed myself. Therefore, my intuition was saying don't. And whenever that happens, I've learned to follow it. And I know when I have ignored it, it is not good. It was not good. And sometimes you don't know right away, but when I was younger, I've ignored it, and I came in contact with a person who was a dangerous person. And when I first met this person, I'll never forget it as long as I live. I said out loud, no, 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 because this person was targeting my friend first. And I kept on hearing in my head, no, no, no. And I said to her, I'm like, no. I said, no, no, no. And she didn't listen. So as a friend and the dummy that I was at the time, I followed along, and it was not good. He was just not a good person, just a dark soul. And I learned the hard way. Thank God. I mean, I was still protected, but had I followed my intuition even more at that time, I would have avoided the whole thing. But I'm adventurous. But yeah, so that's intuition. It's like when you hear, it's just, you can't really, you don't have to explain it. Sometimes it's unexplainable. You don't have to. It's just something's telling you no, or something's telling you yes. Clear no, clear yes. In decisions I've made with my art or business or people, or, I don't know, whatever shirt I'm going to buy, or, what lipstick I'm putting on. It's clear. It's yes or no. You don't have to question it. You just know. It's, I think that's also too, I don't know if that's just intuition, but then there's also the empath part. Like I get clear, what's called like claircognizance. I just know things. I don't know how I know them. But I just do. It'll just kind of happen. I'll just get like a feeling, and then I'll look into it further, and then I find that I'm correct. I don't know. I can't explain it. I've had that a lot of my life. I just know, and it's with people. Like I can tell if people are not being honest. I can tell if something's just off. Something's just not right. Follow that. That's real. Like it's legit. It's not like, it's not like a little, like, it's not like a fairy tale. No, it's real. It's actual. It's hard to explain in words. If it's relatable to people that have the gift, but I'm saying follow it. it's real. You can trust it. You can trust your intuition. It's there for a reason. So I've gotten much better at doing that and feeling firm in my power with it. So like an example might be like if I'm just not getting a good feeling, like maybe in a business situation and like dealing with another person, maybe they're difficult, maybe their energy is not the same or easy to work with. I've learned to just disconnect from it. And I'll say, you know what? I'm not feeling this. I don't think our energies are going to work well together. And maybe the person thinks I'm weird or I'm snotty or, I'm egotistical or something. And that's okay. I'm fine with that because I know I'm not going to feel good if I were to like pursue that, because I know what it feels like when things feel good. I know, oh, this feels really good. I want to go down that road. And then in doing so, things are going to come a lot easier. So when you ignore that and like if your intuition's guiding you against something and then you still move forward with it, there's going to be problems. There's going to be like hurdles in the road. There'll maybe be be delays or just things that are annoying, just frustrations. So that's I don't know, for me that's a good way to determine. Nothing's perfect and nothing's always smooth, but if you feel that initial energetic like discord and you get the nudge like no, it's taken me years, but I am at a point now where I can just flat out be like no. And then the thing is this, if I'm wrong, and I can be wrong, I'm not always right, it'll come back. So I don't worry about that. So it's like, okay, I could have misperceived something. I may have been incorrect. Maybe I was just like, not in a good place that day or something. I'm not really sure, but I trust the universe that it's like, there is no end all be all. So if something's meant for me, it's never going to miss me. It will come back around. It will show up. So, that's how I learned to work with my intuition, is that how am I feeling? I use my feelings as a guide, but not like I don't react to my feelings. I use them as a compass. And that's another noteworthy thing. You can feel something, but you don't have to be all like, you don't got to get crazy. If you feel crazy on the inside, you don't got to get crazy on the outside, because we like to keep our crazy to ourselves. Okay? Keep it in here and then deal with it. You go inward and then you're like, what is this trying to tell me? That's how we do it here. If you feel emotional, you feel the feeling and then use it as a guide. Like, oh, what is this trying to tell me? Not get all up. Don't be like Drake. That's what I'm saying. And get all up in your feelings and then react to them. How about that? That's what I'm saying. So intuition, trust it. It's trustworthy. It's like your BFF. I use my intuition as my BFF, and I really don't care what anybody else says. So I know what's best for me, because everybody else is responding from their own issues and perspective and perception. So I know what's best for me and where I'm going and what my heart and soul desires and what my heart says. So trust your intuition, trust your feelings, have a beautiful day, drink your water, stay in your own lane, smile, love each other. And again, description box has my information. We can talk more about this. I can help. Email is there. Links to social media is there, because I like to post like inspiring things. So my Facebook, Instagram, email if you want to connect privately, PayPal, all the good stuff. So questions, suggestions, kindness only. That's it. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.